I'm Richard Lewis reporting for Cadred.org. I'm here with a disappointed-looking 3K2. They've just lost to Mod Esports, who are just over here. That's why we've selected to do the interview here. So, first things first, I mean, what went wrong in that game? Because I think on paper, you guys were clear favourites.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, basically what went wrong was that we just allowed them to get too much momentum on Tuscan, and then we just started panicking a little. Maybe we bought too early a few times, so we didn't really have, well, a full buy. Basically, we just didn't play the game that we're good at. I don't think I've done an interview with you, but I've said before that our only strong part in this team is that we're good at working together because we don't really practice that much, and we try to run too many fast set strats instead of just working the game slowly, and that fucked us up on both Tuscan and Train.
I gotta say though, you guys were looking a lot more relaxed, a lot more, I don't know, like happy sort of coming into this tournament. When I've seen you before in the past, even though you're always the interview guy, the nice guy that talks to the press, there's been that kind of air of stress around previous teams. This time you're all relaxed, you're all having fun, you're all playing Diablo 3 a lot. I mean, do you guys feel better even though you've maybe had a poor performance here?
I don't know. When we lose, obviously we still feel bad. I mean, a lot of us has tried being on the best teams in the world, so it feels bad when we lose, but on the other hand we have practiced so little and we have no expectations of actually winning this event, so it's not really a problem for us. So obviously disappointed, but it goes away fast when we play Diablo.
I want to talk a little bit about the change of pace in terms of being in a team without Fetish, because I know you've played with him a lot and Purity's played with him a lot, and you know, pretty much all of you guys I think at some point have played with Henrik. I know he can be quite demanding as a captain. Do you miss playing with him, or are you kind of relieved to be having a break from that sort of intensity?
Well, the only reason I miss it, I think I miss playing with him mainly because it was nice being a team where we played as much, so we were really good. And then the only other thing is that now I'm the caller in the team, and sometimes that's just, especially when you're losing and you have to okay, we're behind 15-2 and you need to try your best. It sucks a little. Other than that, I don't think in our old team, when I played with Henrik, it was often me actually creating strats still, and then he would call them and call the in-game changes, and it's fun for me to try and actually just do what I intend with the strats. I'm not as good as it or as confident in making calls, but I try my best, and it's fun for me. I think for the other players, they probably miss playing with him because he is better at it. But yeah, it's just more relaxed, and well, obviously the stress is a bit on me, but I have no problem trying to make hard decisions, and if we lose, there's no problem because we have no intention of getting number one, so it's fine.
Now that you're in the lower bracket, I mean, are you guys still confident of getting a decent finish, a respectable finish? Because, you know, I know that you said that you've come here with, you know, no expectations of winning. That's fair enough. But I'm pretty sure you've got expectations of a top 4 at the very least kind of finish. I mean, if you finished outside of that, would it be a disaster?
Well, I mean, most of the times I just don't want to lose to anyone I think we should beat. Now we've lost to MOD, which is a team I think it's a 50-50. I mean, on other maps we would beat them, but it's a veto system, so we can't just, that's not a good argument. As it looks now, we're expecting to win the next 2 matches, which are against teams that we know that we should beat, and then it's probably MOD again, or Epsilon if MOD beats them. I think that's how it's going to be. So maybe we'll end up on 5th-6th, but hopefully we can beat MOD in a 1-mapper at that time, then get top 4, and after that we'll have to, then it's going to be really hard, but hopefully we can still get top 4.
You're not the only team with big names in the squad that have really struggled here to kind of hit their best form. Speed Gaming are another example of a team that perhaps should be doing better. Is this part of the overall strength of the Danish scene that we are going to see, you know, teams with big names in lose, or is it the case that it's just the curse of the Scandinavians? Summer's here, the women are getting more and more undressed, the beers are colder, and you guys don't want to practice as much?
No, I think it's mainly just because there's so many good Danish teams. I mean, in a top 5 at least of this land, even though we have really, really good players, I mean, we can't be sure to beat anyone, which in most other countries we would be pretty sure to beat a top 5 team from that country. So yeah, I just think it's that. It's not that teams don't practice enough. Well, obviously we don't really practice, but it's not as much of a problem for us because we have so much experience. So I think we should just be able to play as good as we can, almost, even though we haven't practiced very much, just on fewer maps. So yeah, I just think it's the overall strength of the Danish team.
Right, let's get some predictions from you. I think that's a good juncture to pick your brains. I imagine you're going to be pretty divided on who you think is going to win, but Epsilon, who of course you'll remember dethroned you when you were in Sikeras, effectively. They like to say that they killed the team, and I like to write that, but obviously I know it's a bit different. And of course you've got Copenhagen Wolves with your old chum Henrik in there. Out of those 2 teams, who do you think is going to win and why? Because it has got to be between those 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's not between those 2 in the final, I'd be really surprised. I think, I mean, it's so hard to call because we haven't even practiced against Wolves, so I don't know how good they are. I mean, individually, clearly they are the winners, I think. I mean, if you match them up 1 for 1, I think they have the better team. But Epsilon have just played together for so long, and they obviously also have great players, and they just have such good strats on, I mean, at least some maps. I mean, if people can remember how much they beat us a couple of times, also when we had Henrik in the team. But yeah, I mean, with players like Once and Cage in the team, you can say that they're going to win just on their strats. So I think it's going to be a 50-50. I'm rooting for Wolves, my ex-teammates, but it's really hard to predict.
Also as well, I want to ask just a little bit about maybe teams that have surprised you, teams that you think maybe are going to do better than perhaps people had anticipated. Are there any kind of dark horses that you'd like to draw attention to?
Not really. I mean, MOD, I think, unless we beat them next time, they're going to beat their seed by 1 spot, I think. Other than that, there's no really big surprises, I think. That Pilsner team has done pretty well, but they've lost in 1 or 2 close matches, so I don't think they're going to end up placing a lot better than they should from the seeds. Maybe they'll get top 8. But now, other than that, I don't think there's a lot to say about teams that are going to surprise.
So finally, just a little bit about the Blast, because it's my first time here. A lot of my Danish colleagues are saying you've got to come out here, and it's such a great event and stuff. You've pretty much been to every event under the sun in Denmark, so who better to ask? What can you sort of tell us about your own kind of memories about the Blast and where you rate it in the kind of hierarchy of Danish events?
Well, I think it's a bit hard because there are a lot of things I don't like here. Just how the event is run in general, it's just annoying to be. I mean, they really like to do all kinds of stuff with automated SMS texting of servers, and everything you buy, you get a text, and if you have to shower, you have to book a code, and you get a text, and then you have to put it in some client, and it's really annoying. I like the idea, but sometimes it just seems like they want to have too much fun coding silly programs. Well, gaming-wise, it's a really good event, just for the Danish teams. They always have a bit problems with servers, setting them up correctly. They still have a few problems with some settings that we have to set manually. But yeah, it's a good event. It's not fantastic, but as I remember, there have never been any real disasters either, so it's fine.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I know it's always you who does the interviews. I really wanted to get Purity this time, but there was just no pulling him away from Diablo 3. There literally was not. Even when he was talking to me, he was still looking at the screen. So best of luck trying to get him motivated to play some lower bracket games. But thanks a lot and all the best.
Yeah, thank you too.